these things. Let's see who wants
Hey
to
everybody, I'm going live. This is our Wild Women with Wine night, and I'm going to be here with Karenlee Poter. She's coming on in just a second, so I'm going to request.
Thank you very much. Yay, yay, yay.
So we are live on.
So yeah, let's see. When was the last time you were treed?
We were live on Instagram, and so I'm going to turn up the volume so you can hear Karen also. And we'd love to have you chime in if you have questions or comments.
Still waiting for Dr. Ann's request to come on. This lovely creepy tricks joining in the house.
Okay, I requested.
Leslie, and thank you for complimenting me. True hero. Treeing a cougar. Oh, like a cougar climbs a tree? I don't know. I don't know. You're just trying to get out here, but I don't. She is.
Hi, I'm trying to get on the horse here.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, so what happened was it didn't register that you were there.
Ah, well, sometimes I don't register that I'm here.
That you had joined. Well, we were just talking about what the word treed means. Treed. Treed means, I don't know, but we get a lot of questions, by the way. So let's just
if they're
introduce ourselves.
If they're from Jamaica, that might mean threed.
Treed means three. Okay. All right. Oh my God, we got lots of questions. Lots of questions.
Good.
What I would imagine, and they're all on the same wavelength of little bit of a pervy nature. So what kind of wine do you have? I got a little white today.
I got some red to go with my nails.
Oh, you got your nails done.
I did.
Sexy.
And my toes too.
Oh my goodness, you wild animal. So we have decided to rename our Instagram feed that we've been doing weekly to Wild Women with Wine. Did I get that right? Because we changed the name like 5 times.
We did.
I did.
Yeah.
And guess who those wild women are? You got it.
But we're inviting other wild women with wine to join us too.
I really would. I miss women in general. I'm surrounded by men all the time. I need women in my life.
So we need to put
except my Nancy's.
We need to put a shout out for women to join us in these things. And if there are some really cool, interesting women out there, we could interview them and put that into our show and add to it. We could do a Zoom.
Yes.
We could do a Zoom thing that we could film. We could record it, film.
See the way the mind just goes. It's never stops.
We need a redhead. Creepy tricks. We need a redhead.
We need a redhead. Well, sometimes your hair could be considered red. Sometimes it's purple.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's got blue highlights. It's actually looking really good. I love that.
Yeah.
The streaks, whatever. That little purple.
I got a little purple going on up there. Yeah.
You do. You got purple. I just wanted you to notice my shirt.
What?
This is Scores.
It says backwards.
Scores.
Okay.
It's backwards Scores, New York. I got this shirt after my boyfriend was working at a strip club. He's a bartender. And so the people, I went there way after he stopped working, and we went to say hi to everybody. And the DJ wanted me to come on stage. And of course, that's not in my bailiwick to dance on stage with a pole. I know it is yours. Well, but I can't get it.
I do. I have personal audiences only. I'm not a performance artist.
Okay.
No.
Well, in lieu of dancing, he gave me this nice Scores T-shirt. Just thought I'd share that with everybody because I know everybody's dying to know about that. You can't really see it unless I put this down like this.
Yeah, we need to look down your shirt.
Yeah, it's not all that exciting right now because.
So here's a question: do you think a 20-year-old has a chance with an older woman?
Well, here come the questions.
Well, the reality is at 20, everybody's older. So are you talking
That's my point.
29-year-old? Are you talking to 39? I mean, what are you talking?
That's exactly my point. All right, so here comes the questions. Are we ready? Drum roll, please. Well, here we go. Can you both show your toes? Now, by the way,
I already did.
We will. Yeah, she already did. My toes are so boring right now. Although I did get a gift certificate for my birthday, and they're dirty. I got dirty yoga toes, so I did yoga just before.
There's probably some people out there that love dirty feet.
Filthy feet on a live stream. That's great. All right, so I hope we answered that question. Next, and by the way, if you guys have more questions, just put them in the little question box down below here. Do you see a question box down there? Hopefully you do. Or maybe I am the only one who sees it. Is 9 inches a good size?
For what?
Why not? Is a 9-inch shoe a good size? Sure. 9-inch hat? 9-inch dick? What are you talking?
Nails? No.
I'm going with dick. Yeah, so she don't like 9 inches.
Well, I mean, it's 9 inches of what, and what do you do with it? I'm more interested in what's behind the 9 inches.
Yeah, like what is there a brain attached to the 9-inch dick?
I think.
And by the way, it's why do people like always think bigger is better? And there are plenty of times when bigger is not better. So let's just get that off the table.
So one of the problems is that men are still so penis centric, and I understand it's because they have one, but they think that women are as penis centric about their sexuality and their pleasure as men are. And really, the penis, I mean, it can feel great if you're warmed up and ready and you crave it and you beg for it, but just shoving it in the hole, whatever inches you have,
it can be quite difficult and painful.
And it's not going to cause these life-changing orgasms that are going to make us want to fall at your feet.
Exactly. So hopefully that answered that question. It's what you do with that 9 inches. All right. So let's see. Apparently, FSC modeling decided to ask that twice. I don't know why the first time wasn't good enough. Did you ever have sex with black men? I'm more concerned with why is this a constant question as well. There's certain questions that come up every single live stream, and after a while, I think we should start doing it. You know how like a bit of a dollar every time someone swears or something when
right.
You're younger?
Yeah, we're going to start punishing them.
Send $1 to us every time someone asks this question. Done with that question. All right, next question. Can somebody give a decent question here? Let's see. What do you do to get a man squirming in bed? All right, that seems like a good question. Lisa Lou, what do you do to get a man squirming in bed? You want to go for that one? Sure.
I mean, I think one of the first things you have to do is to go slow and tease them. Don't rush in and just grab his dick. Just like women don't want to have somebody just grab our pussies. Don't just grab him. Don't just start jerking on him. Don't jump in. You can be passionate and excited and enthusiastic, but you also want to build his sex energy just like you're building your sex energy. And
why do you want to do that?
Oh my God, because it makes everything.
Your orgasm is getting much better.
Yeah. Well, and you can
just got a little. Can you please repeat that? No, we got sound effects and everything in that one.
Well, and men can have multiple orgasms just like women can. So
I don't know. I mean, I think for me, it's an orgasm that builds. So what I like is when it is more drawn out and teased, because multiple orgasms don't interest me as much as one good quality orgasm. Sometimes if I orgasm too quickly, it's shitty, and it gets me really pissed off.
Well, that's why a multiple orgasm is where you build it and you have an orgasm and you just drop down a little tiny bit and you build up again, and it's like this climb, and every climb gets higher and higher until your whole body is vibrating with orgasm. It's I mean, it makes your toes curl, it makes your eyes roll, it makes you stupid.
Sounds like you've had some experience in this department.
I was reading that in a book.
You read it in a book. It was called 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, let's wait. All right, let's see. Question from Guzman, E.E.D. Why are they so much better than younger ones? I'm assuming he means older women, but yeah, let's just go from there. Why are they so much better than younger ones? I don't know why this one didn't show up. Here we go. Why are they?
Why do you think? Well, we've talked about this 1,000 times, but the first thing is that I think
I know that's why I will
women
get
who
out my reference manual.
Women who get out your reference manual.
Book Game State Cougar, the book that tells you all about why older women are so much better than younger ones. You know, come on, people, just when it comes to experience and when it comes to being more confident because of the experience, when it comes to nurturing, when it comes to being independent and, self-sufficient and maybe a lot less demanding and maybe a lot less into game playing, all these things make being with older women very desirable to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, not to say that there are plenty of younger women that are desirable too. I'm just saying that's sure. Sort of what I think the reasoning is behind that.
Well, and I think, women, younger women are just older women without experience. So they have, and this is what I like to tell younger women all the time is, your youth is great. It's not everything, and it can't give you life experience. So take care of your health, take care of your mind, take care of your heart, keep your body strong and fit. Because as you move through life and you gain experience and wisdom, if you've got a strong, fit body to go with that, you're just flat out dangerous.
And I think another thing that is super important is that older women learn over the years not to worry so much about what people think and what their parents think or what their friends think. I mean, a lot of times younger girls and younger guys too are very concerned with what other people think. And over the years, I've gotten more and more confident in my ability not to trust my gut and not to worry so much about what others think. Because you know what? Who gives a fuck what others think? That is what you think.
How do you remove the question that's up? Because it's like it's hiding my cleavage.
Oh, we don't want that. Jesus, what the hell? We don't want to. What kind of question is that hides your cleavage? Oh, here we go. We got another question from Michael Walker that said, "Do older women love giving head?"
Oh, we speak for all older women.
Yes, I mean, no. You know what? It really depends. If it's part of your sex toolbox, they might like it. And by the way, it could vary from time to time. Sometimes I'm in the mood for it. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it's part of my love making, and sometimes it's not. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that question? Do we love giving head?
I mean, I love giving pleasure. So if a person is, and I love driving my man crazy with pleasure and toying with him and exploring him. So I
call you
what?
Tease.
Well, I do love to tease. But I love to please too. So, but I like to tease and to tease up to the please.
Okay, she's toying with all the people on right now. We got 20 people on there. Like, oh, there goes Dr. Nan. What is it about younger men that turns older women on? Oh, he flipped this. Michael flipped it on us. He just decided to throw it right back in our face. What is it about younger men that turns older women on? I mean, there's a lot of things for me. I mean, considering I've been with one for 12 and a half years. I would say the most the thing I like about younger men is they're not as jaded. A lot of older men, unfortunately, because they've gone through marriages or, different life experiences, they don't have the same joie de vivre maybe that younger guys do. Just simply the lack of experience with different women could cause them to be more desirable. That's, if you understand what I'm saying. The spontaneity. What do you think? What turns you on about younger men?
I think
I'm assuming that you've been with one or two in your life.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that for me, it's so individualized, because it's not just about the age. I mean, but I have to say, generationally, I appreciate the younger men in terms of they're more open-minded. They're not as patriarchal. They're much more. I don't
mean to interrupt, but I knew a guy that I went out with, and he said he wouldn't even wear a condom because in his day they didn't wear condoms.
So he probably is not getting a lot of sex.
Rigidity.
Yeah.
Rigidity. He would make fun of me when I told him that I was with a younger guy who actually wore a condom. He's like, "Oh, you've got condom boy." I'm like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah. Yeah, so I think a lot of older men, not all, because my husband's certainly very youthful in his thinking and believing, but he still is a product of his era in a lot of ways, and he's pushed through it. He's been more conscious of overcoming some of the patriarchal mind fucks that he's been given. We all have. But I think younger men don't have to overcome a lot of that because a lot of them have been raised by single women or powerful women that really demonstrated to them that women are strong and capable and you respect women. And so, that's probably one of the first questions I ask any man is, what do you think of your mom?
Me too.
Yeah.
I got in trouble one time because I went out with a guy, and during the day he said he doesn't speak to his mother. So I'm like, bing, bing, red flag, because me, I have a podcast called Sex Shop with my mom. I think that it's super important to have a very tight relationship with both your parents. I had that with my dad and my mother. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you can't help it. You're born into an abusive situation. You can't be close with your parent, and it just doesn't work. But if nothing traumatic has happened to you, you just really have hostility towards your mom. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and I think it's how men talk about other women. Women, and I think it goes both ways. If women are always talking about what shitheads men are, then guys might be thinking, well, she doesn't like men, But I think with men, if they're always talking about how the women always, ripped them off and took advantage of them, and if you diss your exes or you diss the gender that you're trying to connect with, it's probably not gonna go well for you.
I mean, not to get political or anything, but that's what I don't understand about the whole, your right to choose, the ability to be able to decide what to do with your body. I don't understand why men are deciding that. It's a generational thing, and women are going along with that crap.
We just watched the documentary on Roe v. Wade, and it was fascinating. I'll find the link and send it to you to realize how it wasn't a political issue until Roe v. Wade.
Right.
Before that, no political party gave a rip about abortion. They didn't care that women were dying from abortions in back alleys. They didn't care that 1 million fetuses were being aborted every year. They didn't care about that. That wasn't even on their radar.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, because it goes through the Supreme Court and the evangelicals made it political to get their candidate to do what they wanted him to do. So that, the history of it is quite fascinating. That truly,
I'm definitely gonna watch that.
It has nothing to do with the process being done. It's all political.
Well, some people happen to agree with you. the blue-haired girl Megan said 100%, Dr. Nan, don't dish your exes. I just wanted to go back here and talk about some of the comments we've gotten. SC Guy 84 said, I adore my mom. JJ Smooth says, what I love about older women seems most are so secure. Don't fear to be jealous. The confidence that flows, they are self-assured, act insecure, they're so attractive. Sort of similar to, what we've been talking about. Thank you for all these comments. Now on to more questions. And if you've got more questions, just put them down below. You can keep asking us. This is fun. Karen, ever been with a woman in bed? I actually have slept with a bunch of women in bed, but not sexually.
I was going to say the same thing.
I frequently share a bed, but no. I mean, I kissed a girl. I kissed a few girls. Sometimes the kisses are good. Sometimes, it doesn't do anything for me. But, it's just, again, I unfortunately, my mind from my generation is not one to, it's just, I mean, when I was growing up, I probably was experimenting with women. But at a certain point, you start feeling shamed for any of that. And our generation was not, let's, mess around with other girls. But actually, when I first saw it, I was down visiting one of my kids in college. I saw two girls totally practically making out on the dance floor. I'm like, they're just doing it to show off. They're not doing it because they really want to. So my mind was like,
because why would they, right?
Yeah. Right. Anyway, there we go. We don't want to block your face. Let's see. Sorry about that, Ron. Hermosa Bella, that's not a question, but thank you. Oops, sorry about this. Let's see what the next one is here. Who wants to date me? LOL. Do you want to date Stephen Hopper, even though you don't know him?
Oh, sure. Why not? I love to date people I don't know.
It's always fun.
That was sarcasm, by the way.
I know. I can't fault the guy for trying either.
I know.
Let's see what else we got here. Do you still have wet-ass pussy? WAP. W-A-P. It's okay. I can see why the question would be asked because of the song that's out right now.
Oh.
Okay. That's where that came from. I had to educate you. You can educate me on the Supreme Court. I'll educate you on the latest.
The TikTok songs.
Yeah, the latest TikTok song. No, that one is actually. I was. Wait, now of course I draw a blank. It's not Kesha. It's who is it? You guys, who is it? Who is it? Wait, who is it?
Yeah, I know who it is. I can't remember.
Who sings WAP? I'm like drawing. Oh, Cardi B. Okay, so Cardi B did this whole song, and I'm going to send you the link, Nancy, because I think it's the most empowering song for women. It's like, I have a wet-ass pussy, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I was like,
I've heard it. Have you heard the country version of it?
No. Is it funny?
Somebody did a country version of it. It's hilarious, and it's like, it just puts a whole different spin on it. It's really funny, yeah. It's clever.
But the fact that, and then there are other people that, real conservative people that thought it was disgraceful and everything that she sang that song. And I'm like, hell. I mean, I talked about it on my podcast, and I totally think that there's no, it's empowering to think, yeah, she's got a wet ass pussy and she's gonna enjoy it. And you know what?
Yeah.
So in answer to your question, there are times that I have a WAP. There are also times that I don't have a WAP. It depends on who I'm with and what my mental thought processes are and what I'm reading and what I'm watching and what I'm experiencing. What about you? You got a WAP sometime?
Oh, a lot, most of the time. I'm just saying. Yeah. She's just like one of those engines that's always kind of partially revved up.
She's ready to go. I just want to show you. There it is. There's that question. By the way, if you guys want to leave more questions, we have plenty of time. All right, here we go. Women live longer than men, so it pays you to marry a younger man. I mean, that is part of my philosophy. I do believe that we do live 3 years or 4 years longer than men. And as a matter of fact, one time I did with my boyfriend, we did a questionnaire about how long, our lifestyles and, nutrition and exercise and all these different things, even if you floss. And he was going to live 1 year younger than me. He's going to die before me because it was all these other issues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
Is lube something that a man should expect to have handy when a sexual encounter is possible with an old woman? I think you should have lube no matter if you're older or younger, because after a while, anything, friction can cause dryness. So, and wetter is better.
Well, especially if you're using a condom, you really need lube, because condoms can rip the heck out of us and cause irritation. And if you are into anal at all, it's mandatory that you have lube. Don't do anal with spit.
Yeah. So the question, Ron, is not about. The answer to that is not necessarily for older women, but it's for all women.
Yeah.
You should have lube with any age woman. Thank you, Kahala Lynn. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got? All right. Do older women like big penis? Do older women like big penis? We likes it.
Yeah, because the older we get, the more stretched our pussy gets. So we have to have a bigger and bigger and bigger one, right?
Especially if you have children, your pussy gets to get this big. You got WAP, you got this wet ass.
Well, and the more sex we have, the bigger that thing gets.
Can we discuss that? How do people actually believe this?
I don't know.
They think. I interviewed a prostitute in Australia where it was legal. And she was telling me she slept with over 1,000 men or something. 10,000 men. She slept with over 10,000 men. And she said that actually the comments after I interviewed her were like, does she have like the Holland Tunnel down there because of all the men she slept with? Oh. They don't realize that, you can sleep with one man and the baby's head could be ginormous, like the size of a watermelon. And you can push that through and go right back to your tight ass, wet ass pussy.
It's like it stretches and it goes. Yeah.
As other orifices do.
Yeah. How many poops have you had? And is your butthole just open all the time? No, it retracts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Just wetter is better.
Well, yeah, wetter. And somebody said that they didn't want the older women to think that they were implied that they wouldn't be wet. You need it for all women. It doesn't matter what age. All women. Yeah.
What about Kegel exercises? Well, I actually am using a new trainer.
What's his name?
No, it's not a he. It's actually, it looks like a vibrator, but it's not. It's both. It's a vibrator and it's also an electrostimulator. And it's called the Intensity by Pourmoi, Pourmoi. And it's you can get a discount too if you use our code.
So
20% off or something.
You do.
Anyway, it stimulates the Kegels for you. So what about Kegel exercises? I think that is a great thing to know where your Kegels are and to exercise them. What do you think?
Okay, I got a lot to say about this.
Oh, here we go. I'll just sit back and listen.
Okay, because a lot of women just do all these tightening things because they're so afraid that their vagina is going to get loose because of whatever myths are out there, right? And so they just tighten. They squeeze, they put eggs in there. They do all kinds of crazy things they get all these procedures done to try to tighten this vagina.
Question.
Yes.
Are the eggs hard-boiled? Are they regular eggs?
They're made of jade or crystals or, stone. They're stone eggs.
I just want to make sure that they don't put in regular eggs that they can crack.
Well, the shells could feel bad. The egg would probably be fine.
All right. So I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
So women just contract, and then they get pelvic floors that are so constricted that they end up with all kinds of issues. They can't even orgasm because it's like a muscle, it is a muscle. Right. And so if the only thing you do with a muscle is contract it, and you never learn to release it, that muscle will just tighten up and shorten up and stay contracted. So,
and by the way, how do you even get anything in there?
Well, exactly.
It's so tight. You might not even be able to get a finger in there.
Right. Well, and it hurts. It hurts. So women have to learn how to manage their pelvic floor muscles. And that's what an orgasm does. An orgasm will contract and relax and contract and relax. And you can have 3 to 15 or 20 contractions with an orgasm. So that's like the most powerful internal Kegel contraption you could ever imagine. That's the natural That's the natural Kegels. You don't have to stick anything.
I like those contractions.
Yeah.
And not only that, but when you have an orgasm, you release the oxytocin. You release all kinds of great natural hormones that are making a really good mood. For men and women. Would you have had public sex like at the movies or restaurant while driving the car? How do I drive the car in a restaurant? A restaurant while I'm driving the car.
Have you ever had sex at a drive-in movie? You have to think back.
I haven't been to a drive-in movie in a long time, but I probably have done some heavy sexual petting. What about you?
Yeah. We had my boyfriend had a truck. This was in high school. He had a truck. And so he had a mattress in the back of the truck and it had a shell on it. So we would pull up to the drive-in and turn the truck backwards and open the tailgate and bring the
That's where you became the exhibitionist that you are today.
Well, I didn't know anybody could see me, but it was sure fun to be in the back of that truck.
Have you ever had sex in a Datsun 280Z? Because I have.
No, but I did.
have had sex in it.
I've had sex in some unusual places.
I bet. Well, that's another episode. That's a pay-per-view episode. All right, here we go. Are cougars still good in bed? No, I'm going to answer that right now. We suck.
And suck and suck and suck.
Have you guys noticed? Wave and send hearts if you notice that Nancy is in rare form tonight. She is on a roll tonight. And Blue Hair Girl says, yes, Trump power.
Trump power.
What do you say when an older woman say you're too young or you could be my son? I get that a lot, and I've had that happen to me. And I like to not give it a lot of attention. I think that's an instant response for an older woman, especially one who doesn't typically date younger guys. It's an instant response, and it's mostly to feel people out. Like, what is he going to say next when I say this? They all give in the long run. They're just, reluctant at first because their societal norms are not being met. And I think you just play along, goof around a little bit with it, make a joke of it, or just, I would just not give it a lot of attention and move on to the next pickup line or whatever you were planning on doing to seduce this woman. But it's happened.
But there are older women that are not interested in younger men. That they feel like
that could be too. That's true.
There are just a lot of them. I have a lot of girlfriends that have no desire to be with anybody less under 2 or 3 years younger as far as they'll go. They like their age or older.
And I have plenty that want older.
Yeah.
They want older. A lot of these women want older.
So if they say that, just believe them and move on.
I think you give it my opinion is give it a second shot. I think a lot of them just immediately dismiss and I found myself being, if you can get me just to have a conversation, a lot of that stuff goes away. One of the guys that was adorable, I was trying to fix him up with my daughter. And it turns out like he was like at the end of the night, like, no, I wanted you, and that was a turn on for me. So sometimes a rejection is not really a rejection. It's just a testing period. Nancy's a pistol anyway. She's a pistol.
So no, it's not really the wine because I haven't even had like a half a glass, and takes a bit more than that. I just enjoy Karen and I bring out something in each other that's just fun for both of us. So we razz each other. We get each other going.
We rev each other's engines. Where do you meet MILFs if you're under 21?
You wait until you are 21.
You wait till you're 21, and then you may not find that many anyway, even when you're 21.
No.
Someone said the gym is the answer to that question.
The jail.
Now we got the gym. The gym is what you mean.
I think it said the jail.
Jail is another place you meet MILFs.
The glass looks large when I put it up next to you, but really, it's not that. It's not that big.
She's a blush. Don't let her tell you otherwise. I wouldn't want to give up on someone that I was really interested in, because sometimes women will not be interested initially, but you can change your mind by the things that you do afterwards. That's kind of what I was saying too. I'm good with you on that one. Do you think a 20-year-old has a chance with a 40-year-old? Now, what does a chance mean?
Yeah. Chance what?
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I think it's definitely possible. I know guys who've done it and had it even older.
Yeah.
So
it's all about their personalities, who you are and what you bring to the table and who they are and what they want from your table, so
if it's the right zodiac sign, got a much better chance.
There you go. You can ask Karen about the zodiac sign situation.
Yeah. You gotta just ask me. All right, what do we got here? Do I agree to my girl to add a man to the bed? Oh, yeah. There's a thought-provoking question. Let's discuss. Hey, wino over there.
Oh, what? Oh. When I'm on my second glass, you can call me that. I think, do I agree to my girl to add a man to the bed? Is it something that would turn you on? Is it something that is going to damage you? You have to have that conversation with her. Obviously, she's the one that's brought it up, so she's okay with it. But you have to make sure that it's something that you're okay with, and it interests you on some level. And then you have to set up some parameters to know, like, after you do this, you got to come back together and discuss, is this going to be something you want to continue or not? But I'm a firm believer that in any relationship, that it only takes one no to make a no. So you have veto.
Yeah, and if it's a question for you to have someone come into your bed that she wants, you have to decide first what you want.
Right. Yeah.
I hope that helped.
But that's a twist on that question, because oftentimes we get how do I get my girlfriend to allow me to do such and such? So this is a really cool twist. It's like she brought the idea.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
She wants it.
Yeah.
If I was married or had a girlfriend, I do not think I could share her with anyone. I mean, you got to know that about yourself, S-Guy 84. I mean, you just have to know it. Like, and that might change over the years. Just certain times in your life, maybe more. And I don't want to say the word insecure, but more into monogamy than others.
And I take issue with the word share, because they're not your possession to share. So
right, just depends on your agreement.
Whether monogamy, what monogamy means for you, and what kind of rights you feel individuals have about their sexuality and their bodies, and what kind of rights you feel like you think you have over somebody else's body and what they do with their body. You can only decide for yourself. You can say, I can't see myself being sexual with anybody else within a relationship. That would make me uncomfortable. That's not something I would desire. So I am a monogamous person. but you cannot demand that from somebody else.
Hear, hear. And if you feel like you should demand it, maybe that's not the right person for you.
Right. And that's why I have couples early in their relationships have the consensual monogamy conversation, or the at least define monogamy conversation. So when they say that word or they have that implication, they know all the things that fall into that.
And it's okay also if you're not comfortable with it and you voice it to your partner and she's like, okay, well, it's more important that I be with you than I be with other people. That might happen. You might win. You might win that conversation.
Yeah.
Don't forget, it's society that tells us we have to be monogamous.
Right.
It's society. It's not.
No, it's not nature.
There's nothing written down. It's not nature, that's for sure. I never could understand, and I am monogamous, but I always said that it just doesn't seem like it's a natural thing, because it's very few species of animals that are monogamous. I think the swan and one other, maybe, certainly not the bonobo monkeys. They're not monogamous at all.
No, they teach us a lot about sexual play and the function of sexuality. They use sex to diffuse anger. That's why, and the women, the females and the bonobos, they solve all conflict with sex.
They'll break up fights. They'll break up fights with their vaginas.
Yep.
Hey, this is an interesting question or an interesting statement that I'd like you to address, Nancy.
Okay.
I honestly don't understand the appeal that swingers have.
Okay.
What's the appeal?
I mean, you don't have to understand it. It's not like it's like if I don't understand the affinity for old,
the appeal of monogamy
for old cars, but so I don't. It's just not my thing.
He might be actually asking, what is the appeal?
I think for many couples who don't feel like they've ever been able to be monogamous, that's not their nature, and they decide that rather than splitting up, rather than cheating and feeling like they're betraying, rather than splitting up to expand their sexual journey and to feel like they're being authentic in their sexuality, they create agreements within the relationship that remove the idea of betrayal, that take away any lying or the idea of cheating. Everything's out in the open. And sometimes they do everything together. Sometimes they make agreements where they do things separately, but they're really honoring the individuality of each person in that relationship and what they need to feel whole.
I think, listen, I can see the appeal. Even though I'm not necessarily having it, I can see the appeal of being able to, have sex with other people. It's just it's the men and women seek excitement and variety. I mean, it's a human trait to have that. So I can see why. I can understand that appeal. For sure.
Well, it depends on what kind of swing you're swinging on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can, even though I'm a virgin. Okay. What's this? On the secret of their attraction. Okay, so there was a question about, this must have been a question about something.
It's not a complete sentence. Yeah.
Is it common, let's see. Is it common for men to be relatively long-lasting in bed but failing to ejaculate? Say, minimum 15 minutes.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Is it
common?
Is it common?
Yes, it is common. It's also common for men to ejaculate sooner.
Right.
It really depends on what your preference is and what your partner needs.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that might change also depending on all different circumstances in your life. That might change if you're younger or older. Might change if you're with a steady partner. It might change if you're drinking alcohol. A lot of things.
Yeah.
On the note of swingers, it's awesome to be able to dish with your partner partner about your date. If you can gossip with your best friends, why not your partner? Megan, you and Nancy are on the same vibe on that one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have this life partner, and you want to be able to share everything with them. And one of the problems that I see in couples who've experienced infidelity is the biggest problem isn't the sex that has been had, it's the secrecy. And it's the feeling that your partner now has a secret with someone else that you're not privy to.
Feel really shitty.
You feel excluded.
Right. That would feel shitty.
You feel really excluded from an important part of their life. And in the swinging lifestyle, or the open, we just call it the open, free-spirited lifestyle, or whatever, the consensual or ethical non-monogamy lifestyle, couples don't have to worry about that, because they set it up so that there's nothing that they cannot share with each other. There's no repercussions. There's no punishment. There's no drama. It's like you're sharing with your best friend something that you experienced, or that something that troubles you, or something, whatever. So it actually, the couples that I've seen that have moved into the lifestyle have stronger, happier, healthier relationships if they had a good foundation. Couples that go into that life.
If you have a good foundation, then
yeah,
I can see where it could go.
Right.
I can see once that Pandora's box is opened, you might want to shut it.
Well, and couples that go into the lifestyle thinking it's going to solve a problem, it's not. It's going to create problems for them. Yeah.
All right. I guess this guy asked us a couple times. Zilla, you can ask any question you want. Just feel free. There's a question at the bottom here too, by the way. And also, what's the solution for prolonged ejaculation? The solution maybe, how do you come sooner, Sean? I don't know.
Is that what?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know that that's an issue. There are. If you're struggling to orgasm, there are certain medications that can cause that to happen. Certain antidepressants that can interfere.
Yeah. Sean, have you talked to your doctor about this?
So
if you're on
any medication, talk to your doctor about it. And then there are things that you can do to retrain yourself to be in your body, rather, because if you're masturbating with porn, sometimes you detach from your own sensation, and then you can rub your penis raw and not really get anywhere because you're just in your head, not in your body. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep on that subject in a second, but why in Cougar Life other women send me another link? Karen, can you explain? I don't know anything about Cougar Life other than I don't know anybody who's found any success with it. So I think you're much better off rather than going into specific apps like Cougar Life. I think, and believe me, I was affiliate with them for a while. I didn't make $1. My point is that if you want to meet older women, just go on regular dating sites, put in your age grouping. Like I like only, say you only like 35 and up or whatever it is. It's a much better way than going to specific cougar dating sites, because I think they're I didn't say that though. Anyway, back to the other thing. I don't have health issues. So the one that is prolonged ejaculation. If it's not, if you're not on the medications and everything else, are you also watching a lot of porn? Because porn could be another problem. I love the S guy 84 is giving Sean Movie Freak suggestions. That's adorable. Anyway, I know we're getting to our 10-minute mark, so we're going to be over soon. I'm very excited to watch the debates. Is anybody else watching it besides me?
No, I'm going to watch it.
It's like
I might need one more glass of wine.
Yeah. But if you guys like this, make sure to follow us on both of Nancy's and my social media. I'm on TikTok now. Nancy's on TikTok now. I saw. Very cute. And we also have a website now. I mean, a website, a Instagram page is called, what's it called again? Wild Women with Wine.
Wild Women with Wine. So our
there.
Instagram page, and I'm putting up a bunch of our videos on my YouTube channel, and we have Patreon pages, Karen Lee and Dr. Nancy.
Yeah.
So you can support our work, and we're all looking forward to the comedy show. Woohoo! Can't wait to see that.
It's going to be great. So anyway, it's been wonderful, as always, having this time with you. Hope Trump won't interrupt. Don't worry, if he interrupts, they're going to turn down his mic.
I heard that they have a mute button.
Red face.
They have a mute button for their 2 minute times. They're muting the other one. I think
it's gonna be great.
Somebody said,
it's so funny. You're gonna see.
Oh, Trump's he's gonna implode.
He's gonna implode.
Somebody tweeted today, I can't believe they would have the nerve to mute a president. And I replied back, I can't believe we have a president that requires muting. It's like, seriously, we have never had a president so incorrigible and disrespectful and horrific.
He is one of those guys that you really want to smack around a little bit.
Seriously. He brings out the violent person in me.
Yeah.
Oof.
He does.
Yeah, he's got to go. Mark is so ready for him to be gone,
go.
just for my mental health.
Listen, both Nancy and I agree to this. We don't expect you to join our Patreon page or do anything else monetarily if you just go out and vote for Biden. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Right now. If you want to give a present to each of us, we had a birthday last month. Just vote for Biden and Harris.
I view a vote for Biden and Harris as a vote for humankind. That really is a vote for humanity, compassion, caring, kindness, and women's rights. Women's rights. Yeah.
Everything. Every single thing.
Yeah.
They have to mute out our Congress now. We just have to get on. We just have to find a way to work together. That's all. It's not that hard.
No.
I will work with this pain in the butt over here. I love you so much. All right, guys.
All right. Thank you.
See you next week.
Good night. We'll have a lot to talk about next week.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Yes, we will see you next week. Bye. Good night. We'll have a lot to talk about next week. Oh, yeah.
All right. So thank you for the few of you that joined. This is the first time I've done a live on YouTube, and I look forward to any connection that you have with us, following the page and checking in with our chats. And you can follow us on Instagram, Exotic Lifestyle Events, or Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce and Karenlee Poter. Also, we have a Wild Women with Wine. We've changed the name 3 times this week. So Wild Women with Wine Instagram page. So find us there, and I look forward to seeing you again. Have a great night and be safe. Go watch the debate and please vote.